Hi, it's Natalie, and today I want to talk about the importance and give you my step-by-step system for onboarding clients. If you don't have one of these, you definitely want to put one in place because it's going to be so important for setting client expectations so that you don't have problems down the road, and making sure that you don't have this back and forth email tag that can happen when you don't have a process in place. It also gives your clients a sense of security and gets them off on the right foot. So today I'm going to give you my full, complete, step-by-step process of how to onboard your clients after people say yes on those discovery and sales calls. Before we get into this video, I did want to let you know that a couple of spots have opened up for the Grow Your Impact program. This program is specifically designed to help you grow your business, whether you're starting at ground zero or maybe you're already making like $5,000 a month or even like $7,000 to $10,000 a month, but you want to be able to grow, you want to be able to get more clients, and you want to have the systems in place to be able to handle those clients so that your life doesn't become absolutely crazy. If that sounds like you, be sure to stick around to the end, and I'm going to give the full announcement on that for how you can actually receive a free call with me. Okay, so let's get into this video today and talk about having a client onboarding process. All right. So a big thing that I hear from people is that after they start working with clients, they feel like those clients sometimes push their boundaries. They expect them to always be replying to messages whenever they send it to them. They seem to find that the clients have these unusual kind of expectations of how the program is actually supposed to work for them. And just overall, they start to run into hiccups and bumps down the road. And oftentimes we blame those hiccups and those bumps on our clients when actually it was our problem of not properly setting expectations. And that's why it's so important to have a client onboarding process. And I am going to say, here's the other thing, is that your client onboarding process should happen immediately after the person says yes. So a lot of people get uncomfortable when it comes to money. So after the person says yes, they just kind of like, okay, great, excited to work with you. They hang up, and then they want to play like email tag with the person. And then it becomes this really long, drawn out process when it doesn't need to be this way at all. Instead, what I personally recommend and what I do with my clients, as well as what my Grow Your Impact students do, is after the person has decided to commit to working with you, you go ahead and you enroll them, meaning you collect payment, meaning you get them to sign documents, meaning that you set those expectations up front. What you're going to find is, this reduces all confusion. There's no more email tag and wasted time. It cuts that confusion way out, right? And then 2, you're not sitting around chasing somebody to pay the invoice that they said that they are already going to pay. And then 3, there's clarity on the client end. So sometimes what happens when we don't have a process and we're like, why isn't this person doing this thing? Well, it's because you didn't really have a process in place for them. They don't feel like they have a whole lot of clarity around what they're supposed to be doing. So you might think, they haven't paid, but they don't even realize that they need to pay it right away, right? So I'm going to take you through my 4 steps, and then I'm going to give you details for each. So right after the person says yes, either on the discovery call, whether you call it discovery calls or you call it sales calls, right? You want to say, okay, fantastic. I'm super excited to work with you. Now let's go ahead and get you enrolled, or now let's go ahead and get you all set up, right? Something to that effect. And then the first thing you're going to want to do is actually collect payment. Whether that's with a payment link that you already have, or maybe you send people an invoice, you want to do this immediately with them on the phone. And you might be like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Why would I collect money on the phone? All people collect money for services. It's not a weird thing. It's only weird when we make money weird, right? Instead, here's the great thing about this, is it already gets it out of the way. You get them all set up. You get all the different things that they need so that you all can start working together. And what I found with even people I work with, they actually like it this way because they feel like, oh, I got all the stuff I needed and I'm all set up and ready to go, right? So do this step. Don't be like, okay, I'm just going to wait till later and then get payment later, right? Don't do that. Take it on the call. So first thing you want to do is go ahead, send them that invoice, send them that payment link, and have them go ahead and pay that with you on the phone. Next, what you want to do is you actually want to have them sign any kind of contracts or maybe a payment agreement if they're doing a payment plan with you, okay? So if you have any kind of forms that need to be signed before they start working with you, that's the next step. You want to go ahead and send those over to the person. I really recommend using a software called HelloSign. It's my favorite. It allows the person to just automatically click there. They can type in their name, they can use the thing to sign it, and then it's done. It's done, right? Now, through all these steps, and as you're going through these, we're not rushing people, right? If people need to take their time, you let them take their time. If they want to read stuff over, you let them read stuff over, right? This is not about pushing people. It's instead about making sure that we get all these steps and get all of this stuff accomplished. So normally next, what you want to do while they're looking over those different documents that they need to sign is you need to go ahead and set up their account. So let's say you have an online course or something like that. You need to create an account for them. So go ahead and make sure that they have access to the program material, right? Set that all up so that they immediately have access to that while they're going ahead and signing those documents. Or let's say that you need to enroll them into some sort of like Practice Better is one of these different things. If you need to use any of that, anything that you need to set up for them for the client end user experience, be sure to do that and create it with them on the phone and make sure that they can access it. I actually always wait to make sure that people can access what they're going to need to access while I'm on the phone with them. Because here's a common place where you can run into glitches. People aren't able to actually access a thing. You're then doing email tag when this takes literally 1 minute of time to make sure that the person can access all the different stuff that they need to access. Plus, after people have paid, it feels good to actually receive something, right? So this is also a really important part here too. And then finally, the last step that you want to do is you want to send them a welcome email that essentially ties in all the different expectations that they can expect from you, as well as what you expect from them. So for instance, here's a couple things that you should mention in your welcome email. One, how excited you are to start working with them, because I'm sure you're beyond pumped, right? But then two, you should include, even though you just showed them how to access that material or how to access, maybe it's Practice Better you use, Teachable, Kajabi, whatever you're using to actually deliver client materials to them, be sure they have access to it, right? And write in that email how they can access that material. Okay, I still always include that even though I walk people through it. Second thing is if you have some sort of community. So if you run a group program, or let's say you have an online course that has a community, you should also have in there how they can actually join the group, okay? Or if there's some other piece of something that they're going to need to know, some other access to something, be sure to include that as well, okay? Also include how they can actually get on calls with you, whether these are group calls or these are going to be one-to-one calls. So include something about when those are, or how they can schedule them, or, if it's group calls that are held at a specific time every single week, be sure to include those times and how to actually access and log on to those calls in this email. And then finally, the most important piece that a lot of people, when they don't include this, it plagues them later on, is to let them know the best ways to get in contact with you, as well as your response time. Okay, I hear from people all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, these people keep emailing me. They expect me to like reply back like this. And I can't because sometimes I'm like making dinner. You shouldn't be replying to clients when you're like trying to make dinner and stuff like that, right? That's too much. Okay, so I instead give clients 3 ways to reach me. Okay? And then all other ways are outside of those 3 ways that they can reach me, which means that I might not see it, which is just the case. Because here's the thing is I'm not always able to check my Instagram DMs every day. And sometimes it can get buried when I have other people sending me messages on there, and then I'm not able to go ahead and reply to them is basically it. But I do set aside time every single day to reply to my clients as long as they use those 3 ways to contact me. Okay, so give them a couple of ways that they can get in contact with you, or if you just have 1 way, just tell them the way that they can reach you, right? As well as give them your response times. This is gonna provide a lot of comfort to people because if they send something to you and then you just don't reply, you know? Or let's say you reply really fast, but then you're not able to reply really fast the next day. If they know that you reply within 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is, okay, then they can know, okay, I sent that, but she said she replies within this time, so I should be getting a response soon. All right, it's a great way of setting that expectation for them, and it's going to make it so much easier on you too. All right, everybody, I hope this client onboarding process was helpful for you and allows you to set one up for yourself too. Okay, be sure to like this video, comment below what you'd like me to talk about next, and subscribe because I put out new videos just like this one every single Friday. If you are interested in the Grow Your Impact program and you want to get some more details about it, you want to see if it's going to be a good fit for you, you are in this moment and part of your life where you're ready to stop just like thinking about doing what you want to do with your business and instead understand the daily action steps to actually make your goals happen. If that sounds like you, what you want to do is go below, click on this link, all right, and schedule a call and a time to speak with me, and we'll see if Grow Your Impact is a good fit for you. All right, everybody, I'll see you next Friday.